With regards to Rob Key, sort of noting you in an interview last week, it's interesting that England are focusing an awful lot on talent and skills rather than results and numbers and outcomes. As a young player, still finding a way, still trying to, I guess, understand yourself. How does that make you feel that the onus is on those elements rather than, how many wickets you're picking up and how many runs you're going for?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a nice thing to hear in terms of, I think for me, obviously I chatted to, Fons here a lot about it and sort of the attributes I have. And for me, it's kind of maximizing my height, sort of, and that pace and that bounce. So I think hearing that, it's quite nice in terms of, I think it lets you play with a bit more freedom as well. I think it takes a bit of pressure off your shoulders as well, just to know that, just sort of go out there and, that's what I sort of try and do at times as well, just sort of run in and try and bowl quick and make things happen. I think that's definitely something which, that's a direction I want to go in. So I think it's nice hearing that, I think, as a bowler, definitely.
And it must really liberate you. It must also help you when things don't necessarily go well. You come off the field and you're not for 50 or whatever after a tough day in the field. Yeah. It must really help liberate you while you're playing, but also help how you reflect upon times that don't necessarily go well.
Yeah, I think that's the thing as well. I think obviously it can be hard, and I think if you go out there and play with, you have a plan of how you're going to go about it, and obviously if it pays off, then great. But then it's sort of that, like you say, if it doesn't necessarily go your way, and you don't think you, do you know what I mean? If you, let's say you didn't get those wickets or it didn't feel so good, I think then it's quite nice having that, knowing, obviously, how should I say? So like, yeah, it's nice not having that pressure, I think, in terms of that it's not all about, obviously it's about wickets, but not having that pressure of going out there and knowing it's all about wickets. And yeah, so I think it's nice having that. It does definitely take a bit of pressure off your shoulders.
And also, the attributes that England have looked at, and that Rob was talking about, were very much, having a high release point, bowling fast. Does that mean you can kind of focus on? Are you going to be focusing on those elements? And does I guess the idea of freedom? Does it mean you can focus on those elements and getting those right rather than bowling to a line or anything like that?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think obviously those are sort of areas I've been working on this winter. Obviously mechanically, like obviously been working on using my front side more, and all of that, I suppose, in turn, then it's trying to make me as tall as possible to crease. Because then, like you say, if I'm maximising my height, then obviously I'm going to get the most out of the pitch. If you know what I mean, I'm going to try and get that extra bounce, which is obviously what I'm trying to do anyway with my height. So obviously those are areas of which, which is obviously going to help me try and get that bounce and pace, and obviously what they're looking for. So